You asked for the physics, more detailed. Well, let me go ahead and give you a rundown here on modern physics and how it deals with what's going on with these devices that are about ready to hit the market. Within the next 12 months, they're going to see a major change, a paradigm shift in energy. Now, if you remember the double slit experiment, it's a demonstration that light and matter can display characteristics of both classically defined waves and particles. You look at it, it's there. You turn away, it's not there. Moreover, it displays the fundamental probabilistic nature of quantum mechanical phenomenon. Now, virtual particles are theoretical particles. They appear and disappear spontaneously in empty space, also known as the vacuum of space. Now, these particles are not directly observable, but their existence is inferred from the effects on other particles. And I've been saying this in my videos. Science can't deny the effects of this excessive energy from this energy state coming from the vacuum of space, because it's possible for virtual particles to pop in and out of existence in these energy states, thereby creating a devices that you see allows virtual particles to appear and disappear, generating a flow of electricity. This is the basic idea behind the electric generators or plants that you're seeing, like with Brillo One or with Leonardo Corporation and other ones that we've researched. Now, the patent, of course, is the proof. The patent I'm referring to appears to be related to a device that uses principles of space charge, vacuum polarization, and virtual particles to generate electricity. It's a lot to swallow right there, but let me give you each one and define it. Space charge refers to excessive or deficiency of an electric charge in a particular region of space. It could be anywhere. Now, the excess or deficiency of charge can affect the behavior of other charges in the vicinity, can lead to the spontaneous formation of an electron cloud around a cathode, which are being used when heated in these devices. There's no radiation, there's no nuclear, it's just very small and minute. We're almost talking down to the nanoscale. Now, vacuum polarization is a quantum mechanical effect that occurs when virtual particles, such as electrons and positrons, like antimatter and matter that eliminate each other, are created and destroyed in the vacuum. This process, though, can lead to the formation of an electric field around the cathode, which can further influence the behavior of the electron cloud. Now, together, these phenomena can be exploited to generate a flow of electricity, as described in the patent. But keep in mind, patents just published, I believe, is now key to securing a more valid stance in the case of reverse engineering when these products come out. Self-sustaining mechanisms about to be shown on YouTube for the world to see. Now, we've known 5 countries that have just recently published these patents. It was Australia, published January 5th, 2023. China, published 9th December 2022. Japan, they published in 21st, 2022. And then you also have South Korea. They actually published in 16th December 2022. Then you have South Africa that published in the last couple of months. So there seems to be a patent battle brewing here because this technology is so dramatic to our world in many ways. The SSM, the self-sustaining mechanisms, excessive energy is a true miracle of nature. All humans will have the power of decentralized energy. Now I'm going to quote Leonardo Corporation, who recently on his self-sustaining mechanism prototype working 24/7 and will complete the R&D cycle within February. And all has been going well, and they will install the cameras to make the live streaming like they are already doing with the ECAT SKLEP. They already have a unit that's been running since September 16th on YouTube, but now this one doesn't even have a grounding. No cords, no cables, no plugs, nothing of outside, not even a grounding. It's all internal. All the necessary apparatuses have already been prepared for this. Warm regards, Andrea Rossi. Now I'll add, zero-point energy is moving very fast. I've seen a lot of announcements here recently. It's the reason why we're moving into it so fast. We have the physicists, the research. We've been doing this for a year and a half, culminating to this point, and we're so lucky to see the breakthroughs happening, and almost $250 million in pre-orders just on Andrea Rossi, Leonardo Corporation's device. Now, to set up this device to raise the voltage on DC flow without changing the power. That's key. It raises the voltage on DC power without changing the power. So you can flip it on, flip it off, raise it, lower it. You can combine more units in par, and that actually stackable, scalable to obtain the voltage and the power that you need. Now, another thing to keep in mind in this video is what happens if energy becomes free. It would be a significant impact on many aspects of society and the economy. Energy prices would likely drop dramatically. I mean, that's given to me. 80% of everything we do is energy. Financial sector will see its future of energy change overnight. The research in Wall Street will all have to change. Energy bond funds, they'll collapse, the long ones 30 years, very quickly, 15 years, 10 years, I mean even the 5 years, depending on how this moves exponentially, and it will grow exponentially because the products themselves can be bought in lab stores, but it's the formula that'll be reverse engineered. And it could take a year or two because of how long it's taken to get these formulas by these companies. So in a few years, also leading to significantly lower costs for businesses and consumers. I mean, think about the increased economic activity as people and companies have more disposable income, discretionary funds spent on goods and services and pay down most debts. So the disposable income to spend on those goods and services will also change on the fiat currency side. It's going to lose its attraction. I mean, think about it. Oil, the dollar, based on the greenback, based on oil. I mean, new values will have to compete. A positive impact on the environment. I mean, think about fossil fuels losing their major use. 80% of it is fuel. Job markets in the energy sector would be decimated. More land from energy, oil fields, wind, farms, solars would become available or even abandoned. But land will also be the new energy currency. Upcoming societies, new freedoms from energy costs maintain the land. A new technological developments of the products that can be produced from this. It would be so prolific. Think about what you could do with free energy and products. So innovation will prosper. People, companies would have more resources to invest in research and development. Free energy would be more complex and far-reaching. And with abundant energy, it is possible for other resources that are currently in high demand or scarce could become more valuable. So we have to see there's a lot of changes out there. Automation would accelerate certain processes, tasks, which could lead to job losses in other sectors. So there's going to be a scarcity filled in one and creating scarcity in another. You could actually travel into space now. We know that lattice confinement fusion is a big study of NASA looking for their zero-point energy. So there's a lot happening here. I know I'd put out a lot of information. I know you want to look more at the technology, but those patents are key because of the potential patent battle that's coming around. Hence the reason why, like Andrea Rossi, building up pre-orders of almost $250 million and checking every one of those orders very closely with their law firms, because they know the first purchasers are probably going to be, or I would say will be, the competition. They're going to see this. They probably already pre-ordered it. They're waiting for it to happen. So I would say keep an eye out what's going to happen here closely within the next few weeks as they come out with the self-sustaining mechanism, no plugs, no cords, no cables, no outside energy source. That is going to be amazing. This is going to be bigger than the tokamak, bigger than the ITER. The tokamak was a great announcement, but once again, I do want to touch on that before I let you go. The tokamak talks about 50% more out from the pellet, the lasers that concentrated on, and the ignition of it. Well, that's great, but they're talking about 54% from the neutron coming out of the atom. Now, keep in mind, that's huge for the neutron to finally escape the atom and for us to be able to do it with that heat. That's a very intense heat. That's the heat of the sun. But what they didn't tell you, though, is that it takes 500 joules to power up the 200 lasers to get the ignition on the pellet that created that 50% more excess energy. So no, it's not truly excessive energy. And the same goes with the ITER. If you think about the ITER is $23 billion in, they need another $3 billion because they've had structural issues from the beginning. Well, once again, someone's going to have to pay for all of that centralized debt that's been created. So how long will it really be before we see our electric bills go down? Centralized. Not a good thing. We need it decentralized. This rising motivation that we see right now in low energy nuclear reaction, in lattice confinement fusion, 0-point energy is happening now. Pre-orders are being taken, proof is coming out, and when it comes out, it's going to be exponential, and the world will change really quick. We're very excited about it. I hope I gave you enough information on the physics behind it, and if you need more, I'm more than happy to expound on that. The sun is starting to shine on me here. And New Fire Energy. We're wanting the world to change for a better place, and we've done enough work to show that it's happening. Thank you very much.